I want your. I love parties like sex is natural, sex is good. Not everybody does it, but everybody. My mom used to love that song. Like when I was like a young
I can see that
person, I was like, because my mom was young then and I was young then. And that's just funny that my mom loved George Michael's, and now she's gone through this like renaissance of like she's like a 70-year-old woman almost, and she's like really into like Outlander, The Last Kingdom, the Vikings, anything with like Danish like rape, like sex, murder, like I'm like, all right, just good-looking Northern European men. That's my mom's thing right now. And speaking of that, we kind of got into it. What's better, working at a guitar shop or working at a guitar factory?
perfect segue there.
Which one has more sex appeal? Dun dun dun. I would vote neither.
I was gonna say zero sex appeal either spot.
I mean, the reality is that, but to people that like are like us,
Yes.
and live in this world where like everything about guitars is sexy. You got your 8-sided dice. You got, I know who we're talking to. You got your little Magic the Gathering set. You're ready to rock. You're there Friday nights. When I drove by Hit Point Hobbies and they were rocking Friday night, I was like, yes. Cool shop in Aberdeen, North Carolina. Tabletop games. If you're coming to see us and you're into tabletop games too, go check out Hit Point Hobbies.
There you go.
Right near the Neon Rooster too.
Right down the street.
Literally a block or two away, I think.
Yep.
When we talk about blocks or twos, a lot of Europeans don't know what we're talking about, apparently. I saw it on BuzzFeed last night. I was like, what? They have blocks? I don't get it.
Yeah, they totally have blocks.
It's like, what's a block mean? I'm like, what?
Like it's, the little squares we all live in. Whatever. Okay.
Anyway, so you've worked in guitar factories.
Yes.
You've worked in guitar shops.
Yes.
Which one did you have more sex at?
It's a toss-up. It was wild both places. Woo, yeah.
It's like ER, like
right,
just
right.
Chicago Hope, like sex in every corner.
It's funny because I feel like the similarity here is that both these things, you have this fantasy of what it's going to be like.
It's like marriage.
And then it's nothing like that. Like it's so far removed from that.
Yeah.
Because like the factory thing for me, I only worked at a guitar factory.
You worked at a tough one at a tough time.
A tough one and a tough time. And it was sandwiched in between all of my guitar shop experiences.
We're talking about Gibson. He was there.
For some of the rough years. But rough 6 months.
You weren't there very long.
I wasn't there very long.
That's longer than most.
Yeah, but I mean, I remember thinking like, oh, I'm gonna handcraft these iconic American instruments, and everybody's gonna just be happy, and everybody's a guitar player. We're all gonna like talk about how much we love guitars.
We're gonna jam after work. We're gonna jam at the break room.
You do think that, right? Because there's there's a Gibson lounge and there's a Gibson jam once a quarter, and there's you get to buy. Yeah, no, it's not.
You know that?
It's not. No, I mean,
it's not like
sort of there is, right? But yeah, no, you're in a factory, right? You're at the end of the day.
You want to go home.
You're working in a factory.
I mean, you might as well be building toilet seats.
Now, obviously, even like I could see the guys in that are like setting up the guitar, like stringing up the guitars and actually doing the final setup before they went to like QC, quality control. Even those guys, it's not like they get to set up the guitar and peek at it and then like play for 20 minutes and do some classic rock riffs. Like, no, like they're trying to do it, within a certain amount of time. I'm sure the custom shop is different. I'm sure that different factories feel a little different, maybe more relaxed.
No, because I've been to all the factories and like that was a weird experience. So we preface that. Like that was the Gibson of the old days, not the Gibson of now, theoretically.
But even if you are happy, right, you're still trying to be productive and do things efficiently.
No, even the guys the guys and the gals, and they were gorgeous gals at PRS. I mean, that's a hard job, man. Those sanders, they're up there with like the belt sanding, just like hand shaping those beautiful little instruments. It's a tough gig. So it's not as glamorous as you might think. Now, guitar shops, on the other hand, there's like drinking, sexing times, drugs all the time. We pretty much just jam and play guitar all day.
You should see the table behind the camera.
Or we stare at spreadsheets.
It's that mostly.
and make phone calls and answer emails.
We talk about which blue light filter glasses are the best. Baxter, are you wearing how do those blue light filters, are they? Yeah, no.
I got mine in my apartment. I gotta go get them.
So there you go.
So I stare at the computer a lot. and I'm on the phone a lot talking. And so like we all have different jobs here, but we all sort of do the same thing. Like it all starts with like the shop needs to be clean. Make sure nothing was destroyed over the weekend.
Right.
You know, even though we're all usually here on the weekends.
Got a vacuum.
Yeah, I mean we do stuff like that, clean the toilets and everything, and then we're
Someone called the other day and they realized it was me. I guess they watched the videos and they was like, "Oh, you guys do like work? Like you have like a real job?" And I was like, "Yes."
I mean, not really though.
I mean, in the way that this
Don't
is
get me
your
wrong.
job.
At the end of this, the whole rub is that it's not I'm going to vote guitar shop just off the bat. I think 'cause we do get to deal with people.
You know the thing about guitar shop, right? So, the first guitar shop I ever worked at, really small, mom and pop, mostly lessons, and it was very relaxed. And you'd kind of sit around, you'd kind of hang out, but that was because nothing was happening, right? So it's kind of boring.
That's about 75% of guitar shops, probably.
It is. But then, you know, I get a job at GC for the first time, and they're like, "Hey, don't stand around and talk. You know, like you can't play guitar. Like you never play guitar. People think, oh, you just get a job and you sit around and play guitar all day. No, like there are tasks and things that need to be done."
Because I've never gone to Guitar Center and seen like people just sitting around like that work there just jamming. Like they're all,
because they can't.
They're doing
like
stuff.
they literally are not supposed to do that. And then, like us, we're fairly relaxed, but we're busy. We stay busy. So, God, have you and I ever had a chance to just sit and jam? No, not really.
No, I mean I remember like that could have
Yeah.
like right when you first came into this little world.
Kinda.
Like, maybe we could have,
But
then
we were just starting to.
It was ramping up and up and up, and so we are busy, but it's fun though.
Now we have fun, right? Like there's, you know, obviously I have to say this because
we
Baxter's
do.
right here. No, I'm just kidding.
And I do too because like the actual boss is right behind.
Yeah, that's true.
It's stage left for you, my
God.
right shoulder. So
we have a lot of fun, and we're constantly joking, talking, and you know,
it's actually all serious here.
right. But we're not sitting around having epic, you know, jam sessions.
But I'm gonna hands down, and I don't know because like it just depends on the type of guitar shop you're at, right?
Which is true for factory too, probably. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's say you got a
But
job.
I feel like a factory job is so much more of a job.
It is. There's no way around that.
Even
Yeah.
if you're management, like it's you're in charge of a lot of stuff there. It's
I mean, let's say that you get a job at a very small boutique little factory, and you're like carving tops all day, and you love that. You love wood, and you love
if you're like
carpentry.
that's
You know
like
what I mean?
the dream job.
There you go. That's different.
And if you do want a
is
job
kinda
like that, and you're good at this stuff,
apron
and
on.
you're willing to move, I know somebody in Tennessee. I believe it's Clarksville.
Yeah.
No, it's not Clarksville. It's where's John Cruz Custom Guitars located at? That's not Clarksville. It was the wrong place. I can't remember, but he's at that's where mom and dad's mom.
Murfreesboro, Mount Juliet.
It's somewhere.
One of those places.
I can't remember. But if you're willing to move to Tennessee, like they're looking for skilled people. They're not just taking anybody because it's
Right.
John flipping Cruz. But
There you go.
I've heard this through the grapevine. But no, that could be fun in that way. So maybe a bit of both. It depends what gets you. If you like people, I think obviously guitar shop.
Probably, yes.
Because like you're gonna be interacting with people all day.
Yep.
On the phones, internets, and in
True.
the store. If you like just to like really focus on craft and you want to be in like that, you know, because how cool would it be like I work at Fender.
It is cool.
You know, it's like all the guys I meet that work at Fender, they seem to like their job.
Well, see, and I think that's where the sexiness comes in. It's not necessarily your day-to-day what you're doing, but it's at the end of the day, you're like, man, I have a part in making Fender guitars.
Or flipping Donnie Rod at
right.
Taylor. I mean, look at this guy. He's like, you know, he's our sales rep
Right.
or whatever. Or Clay's like our guy at PRS, brand ambassador is what we call him.
Donnie
like,
Rod.
I mean, what I say, like their job is like pretty much functional alcoholics. Like they have to go around and like make sure we're all stocked well. The job of rep is very important. Like
It is.
you know, just making sure we have the right lineup of stuff and we're keeping our feed proper, but also knowing their guitars and being part of the team.
Yep.
It's, but I love our reps. We have great reps, and Frank up at Fender's ridiculous.
He's awesome.
We need to see him more often, but the little pandemic sort of put a nip on that
It's true.
But no, but like all the guys I meet from like Joey, like at Fender, who's like head of their product line design, to like the guys that are in charge of Fender Acoustics and Fender Squire. Like, how fun is that as a task? You're like, Fender Acoustics? No, I don't want to do that. But this guy's job is to like try to make something great out of something that's historically not been. You know, let's not lie about it. It's that's cool. I mean, he loves it.
That's super cool. When I almost have to differentiate in my brain between some of those jobs that I think of as like in the actual being in the factory.
Well, that's because like we were just talking factory
Right.
at first. And
Right.
I was like thinking, well, there's all these like sales jobs,
Yeah,
and
which
then
is
there's
awesome.
marketing jobs, and then there's managerial jobs.
Yes.
And I mean, the dude for Fender Apparel, I don't think he's there anymore, but this one guy who's this tall dude, he was in charge of like all buying for Spencer gifts for years. And this dude came in, he was like on point. He's like, okay, so hot pink and this type of graphics is what's gonna be hot for like the next 6 months, but then snap your fingers, it's gone. So pay attention. I was like, I love this dude.
Fender fedoras for everyone.
I love, like Fender fedoras. Boom for a minute, and then it's gone. You know, like that's how these guys have to operate in fashion because it's so quick. Like the '90s was the thing, and you saw like with the guitars they made, you saw, and that's people's jobs though.
And those are awesome.
Like Billy Martinez at Fender, that's what I was thinking about. One of the other things, that dude's cool as heck. He's covered in tats. He has a professional businessy job. You know, and he's a nice guy, and he gets to like help design guitars.
There you go.
And like then you meet like the nerds that they make the pickups, and the guys that design them, and it's like there's all sorts of that. Darn it, that's cool too.
That did seem always like a fun, intriguing world to me when I would walk by every morning the folks winding pickups at Gibson. I thought that was pretty cool.
So maybe it's a draw.
I think it's what appeals to you most at the end of the day to say, I did this, right.
I thought we had this one wrapped up when we started.
And then we should have stopped talking. We had won, and then we talk ourselves right out of it.
My wife keeps telling me that too. That's why I'm such a failure.
You gotta quit talking after you make the sale.
That's why this is locked down to you, she says. I'm like, oh. Okay, it's been a couple decades, but
so there you go.
That's it. So it's a draw. So I think that's kind of it. I mean, unless you got anything else to add to it.
Are you saying that we're going to end this video with no clear decision or real information?
No, Guitar Shop wins.
Okay, good. I was just making sure because we never do that. Anyways, hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Click that bell so you don't miss videos in the future. We'll see you next time.
Peace be with you.